Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the.
Hello, LG, and welcome to episode 6 of LGAHL Rink Talk. I am your host, Drunks, as my friend Jay Flukin likes to call me. We have the man, the myth, the legend himself joining with us tonight, and I'm super excited. He's LG's very own Jon Snow. He died and came back to life. Mr. Notorious Fat, how are you?
I'm doing good now. Thank you very much, Mr. Drunks, whatever we're going by this week.
Yeah, we have Dink Talk, Drink Talk, Rink Talk, multiple names for the show, multiple names for me. We're just rolling with everything, whatever the fans want, because we're here for you guys. So, you know, if you guys got other suggestions, like me just not being on the show anymore and Dave hosting this whole thing, that works too. What do you think about that, Dave?
Well, I mean, last week it was Drink Talk with Drunks, okay? We got that out of the way. But no, I don't want all that kind of responsibility, man.
Well, it's not even a hard job. I just yell at you guys to do what I don't want to do.
My phone is blowing up.
Which, you know, is how it happened today. You told us what we had to do, and then you didn't do it.
Well, hang on, because God damn it. Listen.
You never said you weren't doing it. You just showed up and said, hey, guys, I didn't do it.
Because, so we were supposed to have, well, Notorious was like, hey, if you want me on the show this week, I'll be on. And I was like, of course I want you on the show. And then Dings was like, hey, can I still be on the show? And I was like, yeah. And then Garrus was like, hey, or I asked Garrus. I asked Garrus, rather. I asked him in our San Jose chat. I was like, hey, are you coming back to be on Dink Talk this week? And he goes, yeah, what day are we recording? And then I think he's working because he told me he was working. So, yes, he is working. God damn it. I might be drunk now. Who fucking knows? So I was like, we're going to have – well, this is our All-Star Game Edition episode. So I was expecting to have a bunch of people talk about, you know, their projected lineups. But nobody did. Well, two of you did, rather. But Dangs and Garrus aren't here to do that. Don't worry. I have plenty to talk about. I never shut up. That's what I'm here for.
True.
So obviously the big news this week, or this coming week, is that the All-Star Game is coming up on April 5th. It looks like it's going to be at 8:30, the first game, and then 9:15, and then 10 p.m. The format's a little different this year. There's a lot of backlash on the format last year. So Bryson kind of went with his old system that he used to use in the NHL, which basically he PMs all 31 teams now, and he asks all playoff teams to nominate two forwards, two D-men, and a goalie, and all non-playoff teams, one forward, one D-man, and a goalie. And then they have to nominate a captain as well for each team, and it can be any position that you want. And so once they have that list of captains, that will get voted on by the community who we want to represent each division. So, for example, Dave and I are in opposite divisions. We both get nominated as captains. You guys pick us. Boom, we're the captains of that team. And then instead of doing East versus West, it becomes a red versus blue, like the old school All-Star games when – who was it? You said, Dave, the Sedins were captains?
Yeah, they split up the Sedins to be captains of each side.
Right. So it'll be like a red versus blue kind of thing, where they'll do a snake style draft and just pick back and forth who they want. And at the end of the day, it's
out of the players nominated.
Out of the players nominated, correct? Yeah, yes, my bad. And then that will be a live show, I believe. We're going to try to do on April 3rd or 4th at a date to be decided. Depends on when the captains can make it, obviously. So we'll see what that's about. What do you guys think of this style for the All-Star game?
I think it's a lot of fun. It kind of takes away from, say the West dominating the East, because in my opinion, there's a couple stronger teams in the West. Because actually looking through some of the players today, I noticed quite a noticeable difference between the top players in the East and the top players in the West. I think this is a lot more fair in the fact that the teams will be a lot closer. And if the teams aren't closer, that's your captain's fault. Should have voted for somebody else.
Right.
I like the idea because it's going to make some interesting storylines. When you get a captain in there, maybe he knows the community better than other guys. Maybe he doesn't. Is he going to pick guys based on points, on name value? Is he going to pick his friends? Like you could get some interesting makeup with these teams as well. And I like that it's, guys from the East can pick guys from the West and vice versa. So you get a real all-star feel, right? With the way, like, I liked the system last year as well. Like, it had its flaws for sure, but a lot of people were pissed off because guys that maybe shouldn't have been in there, like myself, were getting in, right? So it certainly created some controversy. So this system probably will iron a lot of that kind of kink out.
I agree. I mean, everybody knows I was bitter for like a week on not being in the All-Star game last year because I'm a petty child. But nonetheless,
That's awful.
Okay, that was just rude.
That's a bad cold, Dave.
I coughed. I'm sorry. I'm feeling under the weather lately.
But what I like about this one is it kind of, so last year it was more so like it was just on the managers and that was it. And it was all like managers were the only people included in the All-Star game. But one thing, like in the real world, they like to include the fans in the All-Star game with the fan vote and things like that. And what I think this does is it really includes the community, which is great. I really think that's probably the biggest thing going for it, this new format, is that it includes everybody in the community. We all get a chance to vote for the captain we choose. It might be a popularity contest. It might be who's got the most skill. Who knows? But it's just good to have it that way, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, having a vote is really the great equalizer, right? So you may get guys that are just voting for Dave in the pen, guys that are just voting for their buddies or voting for the popular guy, or guys that are listening, who has the most points, right? So it'll all kind of equal out in the end, I think. So it should be.
I'm a big fan of it. I'm not just a Bryson fanboy because he's my friend. I think this is, in my honest opinion, I think this is a bigger improvement, or a very big improvement on the format from last year. And like I said, including the community is the most important thing, and getting the community excited about it is super important. So I'm a huge fan. I'm all about it.
Well, we should also do a vote on who the All-Star MVP is, just like we did in the NHL.
Did, like, us do it, or the fans?
No, like the fans. Just start a poll with everybody. All-Star MVP. Yeah, Brock Besser won a car. Well,
did he really?
We're obviously not giving away a car.
I mean, maybe Tris can do like a platinum membership or something. I don't know. I'm sure Bryson can talk to him about it.
Yeah, because at the end of the All-Star game this year, they did all the fans at the arena did a vote for the All-Star MVP. And yeah, they give it to Brock Besser.
I think they should. LG should just go ahead and get a nice little Hot Wheel. Give that car away. That'll be.
That's actually, my roommate makes fun of me because
on the wall, 2018 season 29 All-Star.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll make it a Tesla too.
Yeah.
The Model S.
Yeah, model. Is that the sport? That's the sporty one, right? I don't know.
I don't even know, to be honest. I'm retarded.
What are you doing, buddy?
God damn it! Where is it? Sorry, you can keep talking. Go ahead.
What are you looking for?
My Hot Wheels.
Dude, I literally was holding a Hot Wheels upstairs. I was gonna say my roommate gives me a bunch of shit because I'm a loser and I'm a Ford fanboy, so I buy like Ford Hot Wheels cars like Mustangs, Focus RS, Ford GT, stuff like that.
It's a motorcycle.
Ooh.
That's neat.
That looks like a donation right there. That looks like a beautiful donation to someone with that lovely chopper.
I got a bunch of useless shit in this closet here. Yeah, see? Hot Wheels, man.
That's a Camaro. I was going to say, that's a Camaro. All right, we're like totally off the rails right now, Dave.
Yes.
Are we?
Off the rails
Yeah.
too.
A little bit.
Do we
I can't
want
even
to
see
see
you right now.
an embarrassing Dave photo?
Yeah, let's see that. That's quality stuff. Oh, wait,
If I can
say
get rid of
something
that.
so it goes big.
Get rid of that glare there.
Oh, that's hot.
Yeah, see, Dave, nice looking kid there.
You're a
Doesn't
player of
matter.
the year though?
Pardon?
Or is that just one of those things that like the parents
They
can
print it for all the kids.
Yeah, fucking bullshit. Participation trophies. Here we go.
To the grandparents, and they're like, "Look at my grandson.
He's
the greatest
year player of the year."
Oh
Anyways, let's
my
go.
God.
Get off that
Participation trophies. That's why LG is becoming Snowflake Central, right, guys? All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not getting into that. So, yeah, I mean, there's pretty much nothing else to talk about, right? That's the only news we have. So
Pretty much, yeah. It's
that's
the
the biggest
All-Star
thing.
game
That's
is
the most
big
important
news for this
thing.
week.
I mean, there's a trade deadline. We'll probably do a trade deadline show next week. Just analyzing the trade deadline and what trades went through and how they worked out the first week. We'll see how that goes. But without further ado, we're just going to roll right into talking about Dave and Notorious's. Wow, I just totally drew a blank. Dave and Notorious's All-Star lineups. They're predicted All-Star lineups, we'll say. They went through, they did it by conference, East versus West, just kind of maybe picking potential captains, things like that for each team and seeing how things go. What the hell are you doing? What the fuck is going on?
What are you talking about?
I'm so confused right now.
You might need to specify because I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
I heard a noise.
Anything.
Did you guys not hear that?
No.
There was just a sound in my headset that was like the most bizarre sound I've ever heard in my life.
All right.
Okay.
Dave, did you seriously not press a button? Dave, what the fuck are you doing? I know it's you.
What are you talking about? I'm getting my stats ready.
There's music. Something's playing. I shit you not. Like this. Is there something open on my computer?
What, do you had like background porn or something? Like, dude, come on.
I wish. This is a G-rated show. We had the mature content last week, so I can't do that. That's a bunch of work shit.
You can't just erase your mature rating. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's just like on Mixer. You press or Twitch too. You can just press a button and you adjust the rating for your channel.
Yeah, man, mine was a teen channel, and then I joined a co-stream with somebody, and it was 18 plus from then on. Bad idea.
I found out that if you curse at all, you're supposed to have it at 18 plus. So I just, all right, fuck it. Here we are.
So can we do our stuff now, or are you still?
Are you
freaking
done?
out?
Are you done making noise or whatever you were doing?
Nobody was doing nothing, man. You're crazy.
I'm fucking sick of this. I'm.
Yeah, you
Okay.
are.
Okay. All right. Dave, go ahead. Tell us about your lineup and who you think the potential captain choices may be. Dick.
Okay, so I'll start out with the West here. The way we did it here is we kind of picked up a lineup from the West, and then we picked up a lineup from the East, just because it's hard to predict where everybody will go when doing the snake draft as part of the All-Star game. So I picked again, this is all personal opinion. This is not who's the best and who's not the best, because that's impossible to tell. So if I were making the All-Star lineup for the West Coast, I would take my left wing as Kev F88 from the Manitoba Moose. Surprise, surprise. He's the leader in the West for points. And he's plus 51 and only got 4 penalty minutes on the season so far. So that was kind of a no-brainer for me. I know Dangs is going to be pissed off, but I didn't pick him as a right winger because Dangs sucks. I picked.
I'm a firm believer in that as well.
I picked some fat geezer off the Iowa Wild. I picked some fat geezer because he's on a team that's probably not at the top of the standings, but he's still got 51 points. So he puts up good point totals on a team that's, say, not as good as, I don't know, up Manitoba. They're not a 17-1 lineup, but he's still putting up points. For my center, I picked Crotch from the Stockton Heat because he has a 60.4 faceoff percentage, and in order to score goals, you got to have the puck. So my forward lineup's going to be able to put some goals in, and Crotch is going to get them the puck up to faceoff.
I love Crotch personally. Super nice guy.
Really?
And he's a very good player. Yeah, I love Crotch. I have no issues with him. Everybody else on like, so, let me put my phone down. Like, so last season, here's the playoff picture. Everybody on in Stockton hated us except me and Bombay, and then everybody on San Jose hated Stockton. It was just crazy. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Dave.
It's okay. Going through this lineup as well, I'm going to point out that I tried keeping the teams as diverse as possible. I didn't want to pick too many players from the same team. So for my defense, left defense, I did pick PD Mac. Guy's insane. There's not much more to say. He's the lefty that I would have picked because now I know Bryson's going to be mad I didn't pick him because he's got the most points.
Bryson's he's gonna shut down this media show.
But PD Mac is also plus 25 higher than you. So yeah. Good job, PD Mac. My right defenseman, I picked Lamar, 1226. I know on the site he's a left defender, and I should have picked the right defender. But again, trying to keep the teams diverse, I didn't want to pick another Manitoba. So yeah, I went with Lamar. He was 16-2 on the season, 20 points, plus 29. Picked him because he's got a higher plus minus than his peers that have the same amount of points, except for Kebrick, but I didn't pick him. Sorry, Kebrick. For my goalie, I picked Darcy Quemper from my team. Why? Because guy's insane. After playing with him, defenseman is supposed to help make your goalie look good. Dude makes saves that make me look good, so I like that. So thank you, Darcy, for continuing to make me look good.
I will say Darcy did cost me an SMP championship last weekend, so I wouldn't pick him personally. But, your choices, not mine.
As what do you guys think about the Western Conference team?
Your Western Conference and my Western Conference are pretty similar. Like, I know we kind of compared notes before we did this. Like, we did have some similarities. I think we match on 2 of them. But a couple guys you mentioned are guys that I actually picked. So I like your picks. It's hard to go wrong in the West, though. There's a lot of really good players out in the West. And I think when that snake draft does happen, you can see a lot of the West guys getting picked up first. That's no disrespect to the East guys necessarily, but I think that's just what you're going to see.
Not necessarily.
I'm trying to be PC.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
You got to come on the show and be the good guy.
That's true. We're the assholes. Never forget that, Dave.
I'm the nice guy.
I'm the fat one. So. Oh wait. Oh, there's 2 fat guys here.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So, you want me to jump right in the East?
Sure,
no, it's not your turn anymore. It's West, West, East, East.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Fine,
Yeah. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right, so have a seat, Dave. Sit down and shut up, and let's hear the real West lineup.
So just as Mr. David said, I also started with the left wing there in the West. I also picked Kev_F88 from Manitoba. Hard to look past him. 17-1 record, 74 points, which is the top of the league. I don't think that guy's ever seen a puck that he didn't want to shoot. He's got a lot of shots this year, so good for him. I think that'll be pretty unanimous. Out at center, it really pains me to say this, but I'm picking Malcheski from San Jose. It's probably a huge mistake on my part to even say that because that guy does not need his tires pumped anymore. 52 points though. He's doing all right this year, even though he's a fucking basket case. Right wing, I went and chose Bill Pro 007 from Chicago Wolves. Not a guy I've really heard much about in the past. Looks like it's his first full AHL season. He's second amongst the West right wingers though in points, so I kind of like that. Looks like he's done some things to help Chicago. He's second place, I believe, in their division right now. Moving back to the blue line, we had lefty. I did go with Bryson 66. He is first amongst all defensemen in the league for points, also assists, and he's also willing to play Fortnite with me. So I got to keep that going.
That's a good reason.
Yeah, I need friends desperately. You don't look like this and get friends easily.
You're preaching to the choir there. That's why I come home and play Xbox every day.
Yeah. For my right D, I did go with Kibrick. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. From Manitoba. He is a amazing plus 48 on the season so far. He's only got like a -7 in giveaways as well, which is really quite staggering. That's really nice stats there. Obviously controls the puck very well. At G, I agreed with Dave as well. I picked Darcy Kemper. Amongst active goalies, he's top in save percentage at 86.4%, as well as goals against average at 1.46 GAA. He's got 7 shutouts. So I think that's a slam dunk as well, just like the Kev pick at left wing.
I'll be honest, I can't disagree with you guys too much. One thing is there are going to be 3 lines playing the 3 games on Thursday. So I mean, guys like Grandpa Puff and I'm sure Zero Crash will probably get picked up in the West as well. Yeah, those guys have both been incredible as well in net. I gotta say, Dave, after your heartbrokenness to not be a San Jose Barracuda, and then you just don't pick anyone, and Notorious of all people probably picks the person on the website who annoys him the second most. I'd say second most, right? Probably.
It depends on what day of the week it is.
Yeah. Like
which medication I'm on.
Yeah. God damn it. And him, right?
Yeah.
No, I gotta say, Malcheski, even though he is a complete case and a half, he's been incredible this season. Playing center, going from left wing to center, and playing a defensively responsible game as well. So I can't go wrong. You can't go wrong there, rather.
I think those 52 points he's picked up as well are missing 2 weeks, right? Because of him quitting and going to the CHL and whatnot. I think he's been missing 2 weeks as well.
No. He only missed 1 week.
1 week?
Yeah, he couldn't play that week anyways because he was gone home because he plays while he's at school, and apparently his internet at his house is bad.
One of those homes with the padded walls.
Yeah, what's that?
One of those homes with the padded walls. Is that where he goes?
Yeah, that's
so.
God damn it! Shots fired. All right, pull off. A couple guys, I think. You guys, I don't want to say missed because that's not the right word here. Dangs has put together a really good or a really impressive season. Even though he's going to be pissed off that neither of you picked him. He has done incredibly well in technically his rookie season in the AHL. He's always played CHL before. Other than that, I can't say he went. I don't want to say wrong. That's not right here. But Dip City Don also putting together a good season. Flash X91, I think those guys might sneak in there somewhere. But we'll see. It's all based upon.
Since it's the 3 lineups, I think they most definitely have a chance of making the All-Star game. So.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But it's
as well. We're only picking like our first line kind of thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
I looked at. They were like, I kind of penciled them in, but you only have one choice, right? So.
Exactly.
No disrespect to those guys.
I want to shout those guys out because they're having great seasons. But that's the good thing about this All-Star game too. This setup is it actually includes more people, so there's a better chance for more All-Stars, which is nice as well. So do we want to roll into the East or? Yeah, that's kind of what's up next on the docket. So. Do you want to talk, Dave, or should we let?
Sure. And I'm going to be that guy. So I got called into work late today, so I didn't have a chance to do my picks right away. And so I was doing them at work, helping customers, doing my picks on the computer, kind of half ignoring them. But I'm going to change the pick.
Oh, really?
My left winger that I picked, who will remain nameless because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I was looking through it, and I just looked at him on the site, and I don't know why I picked him. I completely swept my mind as to why I picked him over some of the other guys. So my new pick.
I really want to know who it is, though. Okay, you don't have to tell us.
I think I looked at the record. Okay, I mean he's a good player. Not saying that he's not worthy of making the All-Star game, but I'd put him on the second line or third line rather than the first line. It was Prowsey from Providence.
Oh, okay. I mean, Prowsey's a good player, though.
Yeah, he's really good. But I just looked through now a little more in depth, and I'm looking at players that maybe I would have picked differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You've had a chance to digest it, and you're like, hey, that's not sitting so well now.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I wish I digested my food.
I'm instead for my left winger. Oh, now I know why. I was going to pick him, but I picked a defenseman from his team as well. So I wanted to keep it diverse. That's right. Okay.
That's why, idiot. Go ahead.
Anyways, I'm just a squid for the left winger. Mostly because of his super high shot percentage. He's got a 60.4 shot percentage.
Fuck.
Yeah, 29 goals this season. So he's got 45 points, 11, 6, and 1. So I'd pick him for my left wing to be kind of the shooter. Sets up good goals. And then my center, again, a player who's on a team who is a little bit lower in the standings, but he's still got a lot of points, would be Caillou St with the Rochester Americans. He's 10-8 on the season, so not a very good record, but he's got 48 points, and that's enough to be tied for second in the East for points.
Yep.
With 31 goals and 17 assists. And then the guy he's tied with, Jude Lepolsky, is the guy that I picked to be his right winger on that line. So I went straight away for two guys who are leading the East in points, and then a guy who's got a really high shot percentage to tuck home some goals on the left wing.
Can I interrupt you quickly?
Yes.
Just out of my curiosity, why'd you pick Jude Lepolsky over a guy like Chicago Lights when you have Squid as the shooter, and you have Chicago Lights who has 19 goals and 33 assists this season and is leading the East in points?
I went Jude Lepolsky because of his plus minus. Plays a better defensive game.
That's fair.
In my opinion, because Chicago Lights is obviously on the ice for more points, but with his plus minus being lower in my head anyways, that also attributes to them getting scored on more often.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So I don't want to picking an all-star game. I don't want to just the top scorers. I want obviously the top scorers, but I want guys who can play a full ice game.
Yeah,
Dave's looking for a complete game here. He's not looking just for ratings.
Yeah, he's not looking for the 3-on-3. We're not doing that 3-on-3 bullshit. So.
But yeah, the reason I threw Prowsey on my left wing is because I was going to take Heisman Award, but I didn't want to have two line mates together.
Oh, that's fair.
And I'm sorry, Prowsey. You're a good player. You're a good guy. I like you.
Yeah, he's not a good guy. He snaked the stupid username change system somehow and was able to go to Providence for $500K. But we're not going to get into that because we already did, I think, earlier in the season. But let's go with your defense. What you got on D?
On defense, my left defender, I picked Glex from the Providence Bruins. 16-2 on the season. Again, I didn't pick the top scorers only because Glex has a plus 29 on the season so far. He's got a higher plus minus than the other guys. And for his partner, I picked JC Enterprise from the Toronto Marlies. He's got 23 points on the season, plus 21, and he's only a -2 on the giveaway takeaway as well. So he doesn't give the puck away a lot. Sorry, Legion, who's actually doing really good. He's got 0 for his giveaway takeaway, so that's pretty good. Just get a quick shout out there. Yeah, that's my East lineup.
We're after goalie, Dave.
Oh, yeah. God
damn it, you fucking idiot.
You know what? I am an idiot.
You had one job. Pick a fucking goalie.
You're ruining this for everybody.
Now, this was actually really hard to choose for me because honestly, there are a lot of good goaltenders in the East, which might be attributed to why some of the forwards aren't getting as many points. But I picked Jonas Pettersson. We talked about him a lot on this show, and the guy just shows up every week and is very, very consistent. You don't see a good week, then a bad week, and another good week to make up for it. It's usually fairly consistent throughout the entire season. So I picked him because I knew he'd consistently give me good goaltending in the All-Star game.
Well, that's fair. And he's a cup winner, something most of us aren't. So
yeah, shut up.
I mean, I'm not a cup winner either, so I'm shitting on myself too. Relax.
I'm just trying to make playoffs just once.
Have you not made playoffs before, really?
Not in the AHL, no. CHL, yes. Everyone makes it, but not in the AHL.
That's bananas. All right. Well, shit, that's crazy. All right. Well, let's hear your lineup, Notorious.
All right. So following Mr. Dave there on the East, I'll start again on the left wing. I'm going with another guy I've never heard of before. I don't know if it's a new name or not, but it's Who Dat Be, playing in Bridgeport. He's got 10 wins, and his team has a total of 15 wins. So he's 2/3 of the team wins he has been a part of. He's only minus 37 in giveaways as well on a bad team. So I see as also.
Sorry to interrupt. Who Dat Be? I don't know if I'm wrong or you're wrong, but it shows Belleville.
He's definitely on Belleville.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. That's the big B on the red and black Belleville.
It's okay. You've been gone for a while. This is forgivable.
And edit.
Okay. Yeah, I'll edit it. Don't worry.
Thank you. I don't want to look stupid.
I'm not editing it. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Moving over to the center, I got RSK, Young Chief from the Toronto Marlies. He's a 2-point-a-game player. It's just not, like, amazing. But on a team like Toronto, it's pretty good. He's also winning 57.7% of his faceoffs, which I like. Control the puck, control the game is the idea, right?
Right.
Right wing, I am going to take the aforementioned Chicago Lights. Chicago Lights from Hartford. It's got a 51.4 shooting percent. Leads the right wingers in points as well. He's first in the East in assists. So he's going to be my setup guy. So let's RSK win it. Give it to Chicago Lights. Hopefully Who Dat Be is going to bury the puck. Moving over to lefty, we got the Steelers from Rochester Americans. He is third amongst lefties in points. Minus 17 in giveaways, which is pretty good for a defenseman. And he's got a plus 14 on a sub-500 team. So that's a pretty good accomplishment as well. Most teams that are below 500 are not a plus 14, or most guys. Finally, moving on to the right D, we have JC Enterprise. I agree with Dave for all the same reasons. In Toronto, he's a plus 21, minus 2 in giveaways. Again, not a great team. I think they're rateable 500. So he's having a pretty good season over there. At least he's having a responsible season over there. And then over to the G, I'm going to go kind of off the board, I think. I'm picking King of New York, 1983.
Not off the board.
Well,
guy's good.
He's not a household name, let's say. Not in my opinion, anyhow. You know, he's not got the cachet of a grandpapa for a Darcy Kemper or Jonas Pedersen, or Pedersen, pardon me. 80 goals on 496 shots. 496 shots is quite a bit. So he's got himself an 83.9 save percent, 2.17 goals against average, and 2 shutouts. Doing pretty good things over there. I like him in the back and holding the fort.
One thing I want to add quickly, because you mentioned Who Dat Be. Okay. I had never heard of him before in my life either. But holy shit. Okay. Dude is on Belleville, who is god awful.
Yeah.
They have 15 wins this season. This dude's been playing on that team all season, and he's 10-4-3.
That's what I say. He's got 2/3 of their wins.
Yeah.
He's got to be doing something pretty good there.
Yeah,
that's actually crazy.
Commendable. To be winning games.
And he's not playing shit teams. Just this week, he played San Jose, Stockton, and San Antonio. San Antonio has been floating in and out of a playoff spot. I think they're they're losing the tiebreaker with Tucson right now in our division. But then he beat San Jose, or no, lost to San Jose in overtime, and then 5-3 loss to Stockton. But I mean, he plays Utica, he plays Providence, he plays Rockford, Colorado, meh. But
When
Bridgeport.
you're playing on Belleville, though, everybody you play against is pretty much a contender, right? Because everybody's above you.
yeah,
So,
that's true. Yeah, exactly.
everything's a
So,
tough game. So, good on him. He's having a really good season. I noticed that right away. I'm like, oh shit, and this guy plays for Belleville.
yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I'm speechless.
You
But
also can't count out his line mate there either. I lost the name. He was
Sassy
same amount of
Tricks,
points.
72.
Yeah.
I don't know that they're line mates, but one has more
I-
games played than the other. in a
I just
different-
assume
Yeah, but
40 points on Belleville. I just assume they're on the same line.
yeah. I do want to say you said you wanted to go off the board, but King of New York, he kind of sort of made a name for himself last season on Wilkes-Barre. But this season, man, he improved his save percentage by 5%. 5% improvement on his save percentage so far. He went from 78 to 83.6%.
Like, if I'm being
Go ahead.
completely honest, like I have heard of him before, but
Yeah.
most times I had seen his name or referenced his name. It was not for good reasons, right? So that's when I was writing my Life in the Cage articles, and maybe he was on my my shit list or something like that. So
Right.
he definitely had his challenges, but this season he's really turned it around. And I don't know if that's guys he's surrounded with or not. I'm not that entrenched in the season as you guys might be, but I was impressed when I saw it. I was like, well, that's from what I know, that's pretty good.
Right. I will say one thing that I'm surprised about is you didn't go with either the two big household or three household names that are sitting pretty high up in the point totals right now. Ambient, Mackey, and Legacy are all three having great seasons, and not mentioned by either of you guys. Any particular reason?
All good players, but at the same time, when you look at it, you can only choose one. So
Yeah.
they would obviously be chosen for, say, my second line in
Right.
the All-Star game. So, and those guys I don't think will go unnoticed in the All-Star game at all. It's just that with me only being able to choose one lineup, they weren't there. And probably for somebody else like you might have them there. It's all personal opinion.
Right. I was just curious as to why you guys would leave them out. I mean, of course, there's Kaka Tino, but I'm not sure Tino would play in an All-Star game. Well, maybe now that he's media, he'd probably play. That's a good question.
I did have Legacy penciled in, and I actually crossed him out and went on with another player. I was more picking guys that I felt maybe were a little less recognized.
Yeah.
And I feel the accomplishment of putting up pretty decent stats on a pretty piss poor team or a middling team has more value than a guy who's putting up points on a team that's winning all the time. I feel like you put me on a team with great players, I'm going to have pretty decent numbers as well, right? So I didn't put as much value into that as I did the guys who are accomplishing things on teams that maybe shouldn't are not as high up in the standings.
Well, while I get that and I respect that and I understand that, Legacy, like for me, and this is just me going off topic, well, not really off topic, but kind of if I had made my lineup and not been a lazy fat slob, I definitely would have picked Legacy for my left wing personally because he's on Bridgeport, who's sixth place in the Eastern Atlantic. Mind you, there's three pretty great teams in Providence, Charlotte, and Wilkes-Barre fighting for that number one spot. 5 points separate those two teams. And they are only 3 points out technically of a playoff spot. But they're tied with Hershey for seventh and only 8 points ahead of last place in their division. And Legacy has put up great numbers for them with 46 points, 23 goals, 23 assists each. They were really bad the first couple weeks. And I was hoping I was telling Bryson, I was like, hey, you know, we have a ton of cap because we had a ton of cap after bidding. If Legacy goes on the block, I'd love to play with him, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, he has done wonders for that team and done really well. So shout out to you. Hopefully you can keep it up, and hopefully some of these guys that I've mentioned will make it in as well to the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think they will, and that's
Yeah,
the
for sure.
advantage to having the bigger crop of guys to choose from, right? Guys
Yeah.
that felt overlooked because they were maybe second choice or even third choice. They're going to have a legitimate shot at making it in now.
Right. And you know, I'll be honest, like if I were a captain for the All-Star game, I would totally just pick people based on their gamer tags. So I mean, that's just the kind of person I am. Allen Chains would be on my team, Sloth Climax, you know, those kind of guys. I'd definitely be playing defense with my boy Dinks.
Dinks
Because
and dunks.
that's the greatest deep pairing name ever. I'm sorry. But I don't know. I love good gamer tags.
Speaking of deep pairings, my defensive partner in Cleveland's the best in the world, just so you know, Dunks, because I hate you.
It's calm down, Dan. I need you to relax.
Fine.
Okay. Are we going to end it there? Are we going to end it by telling you that you need to shut the fuck up?
Well,
Look,
not now, because you talked.
don't trigger me right now, okay? Any closing thoughts, Notorious?
Not necessarily a closing thought. Again, just thank you to everyone who has said kind things about me with my problem with the heart and everything. I appreciate it. It's nice to be back and make an appearance again. I wrote this already in a forum post, but just for those who don't read that kind of stuff and you maybe watch this, thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's really nice. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. I was really, really excited for your show that you were planning on doing this season, or it was going to be a podcast, I believe. But regardless, I was super excited for it. When I heard the news, I was like, "Why the fuck does that have to happen to somebody like you? Like, gives to the community, super nice guy. Like, we were all ready for this new show that you hyped us up for, and I saw Tino's intro that he made for you and everything, and I was like, man, this is gonna be so sick. But you're back, you're healthy, and we are looking forward to seeing it maybe next season.
Yeah, definitely. I think I roll it out season 30 for sure.
Awesome. We are so happy you're back. I know myself and Dave especially, and you're always welcome on our show. We love having you around. So, I mean, anytime,
Yeah,
just let me know when
you're
you're
ever bored and have nothing better to do with your life like us, then yeah, just stop by.
You've pretty much described my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
With nothing.
We do this show, so you know what our life's like.
Yeah.
You got the inside scoop.
I gotta be the one who edits it too. Anyways, all right, we're gonna cut it there. I hope everybody has a great week. Everybody who is voted for to be a captain, I hope you guys have good luck in the draft, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. I will see you guys then. Goodbye.
Bye.